a meeting on Saturday, but anyway today they have scheduled the meeting for all your grievances and all your doubts. So I hope the things are resolved at both the ends. Okay, and you can put all your doubts and queries over there. Whatever problems you are facing, that's why the meeting has been kept. Before we start, just a small recap. Can somebody just see few slides I have kept deliberately at it as it is. We're going to start from here, the way we left last time. We were here up to this slide, and today one more concept I'm going to discuss is something related to MBO, that is management by objectives, which is related to unit 2, model 2 or unit 2 we call it. Let me directly take you to the syllabus. Here these are the class notes. Just a moment, the screen sharing is paused. I'll try to reshare it again. The class notes. Yes, can you see the screen? All of you? Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, good. See, this is what we were discussing. The middle portion I have left, will be covering it at the very end. The reason is very simple. These are few of the management thoughts given by a few scientists, few philosophers like Taylor, then Henry Fayol, then Elton Mayo. All this I'll be covering at the end. The reason is very simple, because their thoughts covers up all the entire portion. The thought is not related to any of the single unit. It covers up almost everything, the entire portion. That's why this particular portion I'll be taking at the very last, so that we can just sum up whatever we have learned, and we will be matching it with the thoughts of this particular scientists or philosophers, or they have largely contributed to this management philosophy, right? Various schools they have contributed, schools of management. So we'll be taking it at the last. Today we are going to cover up whatever we left last time, and a portion of this unit 2, which is nothing but MBO, that is management by objective. Now can somebody just sum up whatever we did last time? Anybody? See, you can go back to the first session also. See, keywords again. Let us go back to keyword. Yeah. Pushpita, yes, you can answer.
Yes, sir. We discussed about VUCA, VUCA.
Right.
Yeah.
VUCA. What does it stand for?
V stands for vulnerability. U stands for uncertainty, and I suppose A stands for ambiguity, and
Right.
C stands for complexity, I suppose.
Right. See, V stands for vulnerability, right? Vulnerability, right?
Volatility, no, sir?
Vulnerable, we call it.
It's volatility.
Sir, it's volatility, right?
Right.
Volatility, uncertainty,
Complexity and ambiguity.
Complexity and ambiguity, right? And we have taken few examples also. I hope all of you remember it. Then coming back to the first session, we talked about postcard. POSDCORB. Let us recall it. What does it mean? P for stand for
planning, organization.
Varun, yes, Varun, you can talk. Varun.
Yeah, so it's planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, budgeting.
Good, excellent. So I hope that all of you are following whatever we are discussing, because see, recalling is very important, and these are buzzword, I would say keywords. Forget about, I won't say necessarily they are buzzword, but they are called keywords which a management graduate should be knowing all this thing, and it should come in your talk when you are conversing with when you are discussing something with your maybe superiors, or with your subordinates, or with the team members. So all these things should come handy. In fact, you should be using all this thing. The reason is very simple. This will stand out you from a non-MBA. Simple as that. No rocket science behind it, and it is going to help you stand out. As I said, is going to give you certain age over other non-MBAs, right? Not only degree is going to help you, fine, degree can definitely help you for applying various jobs, but when it comes to interview and when it comes to performance, forget about interviews also, when it comes to performance, this is going to make a lot of difference. Okay, let us move back to where we actually left last time. We were up to what? This is what we have covered. Just a minute. I hope these slides are visible, clearly visible. Are they visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Nice, good.
We left it here, sir.
Yes.
How is manager's job changing?
Yeah, how is the manager's jobs changing? Now, deliberately we have taken this word VUCA, right? VUCA environment. It is also called as VUCA world. We all are living post industrialization that started somewhere around 1941 or 1945. Maybe we can take it back to the World War II, right? Because this was the acronym coined, as I said earlier, it was the acronym coined when the Second World War was going on. So there onward, if you see the human civilization, earlier things were very rigid, they were not very dynamic, they were not volatile, they were not ambiguous.
It's an humble request, please mute yourself.
Yes, all of you, please mute yourself, please, because it creates a disturbances. All you will be doing is raising your hand and I'll calling the name and you can talk, right? In case if you want to ask certain question, you can just note it down and we can discuss it at the end. Whenever I am asking question, just raise your hand. That is what I want, so that everything will go smoothly. We do not disturb the class. We do not create a VUCA environment, right? We do not create an ambiguous environment. We do not create a complex environment. I think somebody's.
So the PPT you have shown, this is not here, sir. This is not here.
Just a minute. Hello. You raise your hand. If you have doubt, you raise your hand. Everybody is muted. Yeah.
Who is Shalu? Shalu, please mute yourself.
Who is unmuted? Fine. That's good. Good. Nice.
Sorry to interrupt you. You do have an option that you can mute the participant.
Yeah. I have an option. I'm just scrolling on that only. I got.
So whenever you pick.
Yes.
He has purchased this tablet.
I'm muting all of them. Yes. One more. This is me. Yes. Fine. Now it's very calm and quiet, so that we can discuss. Fine. Good. See, if you want to ask something, just raise your hand, or else the suggestion I would give is, at the very end of the session we have this question answer, right? You can just note down whatever comes to your mind, whatever you want to discuss, put down the question and give a reference what I was talking about, so that we can clear it. In between also you can stop me, but please raise your hand. Don't just unmute yourself and keep on talking, so that, see, everything doesn't reflect on my screen, so I have to go through the participant and find out who is talking. Okay, so VUCA environment, we were talking about VUCA. I was talking about when this word was coined, and if we go back to the human civilization, earlier things were not that turbulent. Volatile भी अपन जो बोलते हैं, ambiguous भी बोलते हैं, complexity was not there. Now things have changed to such an extent that every day there is a turbulence, every day there is a volatility, every day there is updates, right? Talking about software, talking about technology, and things are going out absolute, right? बहुत सारी चीजें absolute हो जाते हैं, they become outdated. So we have to keep on updating ourselves, we have to keep on adapting to this change, and this is what the manager's jobs demands for. Managers cannot be just stubborn and say, no, whatever I have learned, I'm going to stick to that only. I'm going to just bang on my past experience. I'm not going to adapt to these changes. Now, adapting to change is the first, I would say, first philosophy or first principle of any management. As a manager, you should be versatile enough. You should have those qualities of adopting the changes, right? If you are not adopting, then you are going to perish. You are going to become absolute. Right? You no longer will match up to your competitors, And this is how is the manager's jobs changing. Simple word is VUCA, VUCA, VUCA environment or VUCA world. We all know things have become lot complicated nowadays. Things are, as we said, are more demanding in nature. There is fearsome competition amongst all the sectors. For example, take the sector of automobile, right? You have plenty of players in two-wheeler. Talking about four-wheeler, again, you have multiple choice. Name any single product, and most of the time you'll be having plenty. The customer, as a customer or as a consumer, you'll be having plenty and plenty of choices, and customer has become more demanding because they know if they are not getting something or at one point of time, definitely that customer loyalty is no longer a word that can be used nowadays, because customer have plenty of choices, right? Customer and consumer, see, don't get confused by this word. Both we can use over here as a synonym, but in marketing this have different meaning. Can somebody just tell me out of the contest, is there any difference between customer and consumer and a client?
Yes, sir.
Yes, what is that? Who was that? Just a minute. Please raise your hand. Yeah, just a minute. Yes, Komal, what is the basic difference? And
So,
yes, Komal.
customer is a person who is buying the product,
Right, good.
whereas consumer is the end user of that product.
Good,
So,
excellent. End user. Yes.
The consumer may or may not be the customer.
Good, fine. So I hope you are thorough with marketing, most of you. Mitali, you want to contribute? Client, is there any difference between a customer and a client, or for that matter, consumer? Good, Komal, you have answered it correctly. Mitali, you want
Yes,
to
sir.
say?
Yes, sir. That what I have like I want to say that customer is the one who buys and the consumer is one who uses that product.
Right.
Basic difference.
And
is
any
this.
example? There are plenty of examples.
Yes, sir. Like if we see the advertisement or the product called Huggies, so
Good. Yes.
like the customer is their parents
Good.
and the consumer is that baby
Right.
who will use this.
Good, excellent example. Even same thing may go with chocolates. Not necessarily as a parent I can go and purchase as a customer, but I can be a consumer also if I am liking chocolates.
Yes, sir.
But most of the time chocolates I would like to buy for the childrens, right? The childrens they are there at home, right? Probably they are not there with me, right? So a good example was Huggies. Excellent example. So the small toddler will never go to a shop and buy for himself or herself. Here the customer is necessarily the parents, or maybe somebody the parents have delegated the job to, and the consumer definitely are going to be the toddlers, right? Small children, small kids, right? Fine, good, fine. And client, somebody can just throw a light on this client also, because since these are the keywords that are coming and that are very important, not only for the subject, but from marketing point of view, you should be able to distinguish, because there is a thin line of differences. As I said, customer, chocolate, I can be both purchasing a chocolate. Yes, Varun, please.
Sir, I think the client is someone who is actually, working in an organization or from a customer or a consumer, and in return for a payment, of course.
Right, to a certain extent I'll take it, but not exactly. Anybody else would like to contribute? Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, it's true. See, client is most of the time B2B, most of the time. See, client may vary. Client is most of the time, we refer to consultancy. If I am going to a consultant, it's like architect, for example. And most of the time it is B2B. If I want to construct a multi-story tower, right? Probably I'll be the client to the architect, right? It is more of a B2B sort of thing. Exact definition or exact differentiation is difficult to make, because it depends on the situation, right? If I'm going to a doctor, probably I'm a patient, but for him I'm a client, sort of, right? Not exactly, not synonym. I'm a patient to him. Maybe I'm a case study to him. Maybe I'm case, right? Client, for example, lawyers, right? Lawyers, if I'm going with my problem, then probably I'm the client. So client most of the time refers to where it is related to not the physical product, but most of the time it is related to service industry. Yes, Ravita, you want to contribute something and Komal
Yes,
is
sir.
also there. Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good
Sir,
morning.
client is someone who is the manager and managing the relationship between the customer and the consumer.
No, not necessarily. See, here what we mean is somebody who's availing the services, like customer. Customer is buying what? Probably most of the time physical product. This is what we usually perceive, right? Mithali is also there, fine. And but consumer is somebody who is consuming the product. Maybe it is a physical product like chocolate or Huggies, or it can be services also, right? Consumer.
Yes, sir.
I'm going.
Like
Yes, yes, yes,
you
yes.
can give the example like urban client. They are
Urban?
providing services. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
they are providing all the services, cleaning services, saloon services.
Right, exactly.
So client that time who is the client side?
See, client is always the end user, right?
End
And
user, yeah.
client most of the time we refer to services, right? Like lawyer, doctors, all professionals, they have clients, right?
Yes, sir.
When I'm approaching architect who is also a professional, probably client is something which is purely related to service industry. See, this is just out of the context, just to make you aware, because many a time we take all this thing as synonym. Here also this slide is yes, who is there? Nalimila, Prudevi, Reddy.
Yeah, sir, we can consider B2B and B2C like
Exactly.
distributors in between.
Right. Good example. Good. Distributors, exactly, right? So a distributor is approaching a manufacturer. So probably he's not a customer or he's not a consumer also, right? He's a intermediaries or he's a middleman, and probably you can count him. You can put it in the category of clients. Good, all of you are following, right? So this
Sir,
lies.
I
Yes.
Sir,
Yeah.
I haven't understood the client. Like,
See, client, there are two. See, product, when we talk about product, let me clarify that. Products are of three types, right? Physical goods means the physical product. Services means like you are availing the services of airline, for example. If you want to travel by air, that is a pure service. You are not purchasing the aircraft altogether. You are just purchasing their services to commute from one airport to another airport or from one location to another. It can be the service industry can be banking, for example, right? You are just availing these services. You are not receiving any goods or physical product. And third is idea, which indirectly comes under service only. And ideas, most of the time, ideas and service clubbing together, it depends on the examples, right? All you can take synonyms. All are the end user, customer, consumer, client, and end user. They all come in same category. Ultimately, their interaction is what, their interference was exchange of goods and service in terms of money, right? You are paying something in return, right? So they are the end user, and clients are most of the time B2B, an industrial product being sold. For example, if I am selling industrial ACs, right, which are usually not fitted at home because those are heavy duty air conditioners. So there the manufacturer will refer to the customer or consumer as client. We have supplied our air condition to Kirloskar, for example, right? Kirloskar are their client, right? An architect giving services to various business houses. The architect will be calling those customers or consumer in our layman's language as clients, right? So clients are something which have a broad what you can call it, longer duration of interaction most of the time, and customer is somebody who can come, just purchase and say goodbye, fine. He may or may not purchase the product again. There are these types of distinction. It depends on the example. You got it? What I'm saying? Who was that? Vaibhav was there, and Reddy was there. Who else was there?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can we call the client as a service consumer?
Pardon me.
Can we call a client as a service consumer or a repeatable service
Yes,
consumer?
that is what I'm meant to say, right? Most of the time, consultant के पास आप जाओगे, the consultant can be anybody, right? He can be consultant for what? Consultant for your business. He can be consultant for launching a new product. And most of the time clients are not most, I would say 100% of the time clients are usually availing the services of the professionals. Professional, as I given you the example, was what? Lawyers, doctors, architects, right? All professionals will be delivering their services. They won't be giving you physical product as such, right? They'll be providing with your expertise. Maybe a structural engineer will be having a client. We won't be calling them customer as such. Okay, please unmute whose mic is on. Vaibhav, did you follow my example?
Yes, sir. So basically we can call it as a professional service consumer.
Exactly.
Professional
Most
service
of the time it is B2B. Most of the time it is B2B, but it can be services given to individual also. Like I am having a problem, so I am approaching a lawyer. The example I have given. So for a lawyer, I am a client. I am not a customer or a consumer, right? I am availing the services of the lawyer to get my problem sorted out, to get my grievance sorted out. Okay. So let us move further.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome Vaibhav. And see, this type of questions you can always raise, because this will come. Gaurav, you want to ask something? Gaurav is there and Ravita is there.
Yes, sir. So my doubt is still not clear between customer and consumer, sir.
Oh, it's
so like somebody.
Simple. It is very consumer means somebody who is consuming the services, or consumer is somebody who is consuming the physical good, like chocolate I have given, biscuit, it can be ice cream, it can be anything.
Yeah, sir, that's what, like something relating to that only, sir. So what if the customer is the consumer itself, then what will be the difference?
No, there won't be. See, the customer is somebody who's shelling out money from the pocket, somebody who's paying for the good or services. It can be somebody has urban company, somebody has very well named it. If I am calling the urban company to my home for servicing of my AC, then I am both customer because I am paying for their services, and I am consumer also because I am availing their services for my benefit. कि AC का मैं आनंद लेना चाहता हूँ. When summer is approaching, probably we all will be doing. Those who are having ACs at home, probably they'll be servicing in month of March, because April and May, all of you know, the things will go out of hand, right? So most of the time this month is ideal. You might avail certain discount. So customer and consumer can be same, but like for example, somebody has rightly given the example. Who was she? Komal, or I think I'm not able to recall, but Ravita, right? Like Huggies for example, diapers, right? So there the customer is entirely different and consumer is entirely different. You didn't start it with your marketing classes, because these are the fundamentals of marketing.
So we have covered this topic in marketing.
Okay, but examples were not put it the way we are discussing.
Yes, there were many examples that were discussed, and Huggies also was one of those examples.
Good. Fine. So let us move to another slide. See, the basic theme or basic crux of the story for this particular discussion is how is manager's job changing. So this customer and consumer have become more demanding. They want their grievances or their issues to be sorted out as early as possible. They cannot wait. They know they can move on. We are not monopolistic organization or company. They know that they have choices, plenty of choices in terms of everything, in terms of product, in terms of pricing, right? So many things, factors are there. In terms of availability, that is place. See, again, this is part of marketing. 7 P's. They might be having the advantages with other company, with other firm. So it's very difficult to hold back the customer. It is very difficult to get repeated orders. So that's why manager, what it used to be 2 decades back, or maybe 3 decades back, or maybe a decade back, now the jobs has changed a lot. And these are what the managers nowadays are dealing with. Corporate ethics scandals, will be taking few examples of that. Be more socially responsible, diverse workforce, and globalization. Now I just want to know what is this corporate ethics. You'll be having one separate on this also. What is ethics? Forget about corporate. What is ethics? Anybody? It's a simple
value.
Yes.
Moral values.
Moral values, right? So, morally is something which is right and which is wrong, right? Maybe legally it is right, but morally it may be wrong. Like for example, any example, legally it may be right, but morally it is wrong. Corporate ethics, for example. Let us take an example of HR. Yes, Reddy, you want to say something?
Yes. For example, if as per our PO, if we take the price times of against delivery, that is moral values, but ethics that is ethics. But if the payment getting delayed because of various reasons, on goodwill basis we will dispatch the product.
Right.
So we are bypassing these rules. On ethics basis, we are dispatching the equipment.
Right. Fine. I'll take it. See, from HR point of view, if we take, if the management, if somebody is not performing, then there are way out of firing the employee. The firing is not appropriate word, right? Exit policies are there. Exit policy seems to be ethical in nature. You should have certain exit policy. Morning you call the employee and say that fine, you are fired. Fired is a very harsh word, all of we know it, right? And doing it, saying that you are fired is not ethical, it is not moral, right? Maybe legally they can do it, that nobody can challenge in the court of law. In many cases it can be challenged also, because there has to be ground for that. But many private organizations, they find it convenient to fire employees, saying them that from tomorrow onwards please do not come. But from the moral point of view, doing that may have an adverse effect on the employee as well as on the goodwill of the organization. Do you agree with me or not? Right? This HR policy has to be what? It has to be taking into account the interests of both the parties, employer as well as employee. The cases can be anything. It can be non-performance of employee. It can be because of the situation like COVID, where there was no orders. So the management has to take a middle way. We are not going to fire you, but we are going to curtail your salary because there is no sale. Here the employee may understand the situation and he may agree. Fine, you work from home and we'll be paying you only 50% of the salary. At that, see, there has to be a consensus between both the parties, and that is which is something ethical in nature, right? And this thing forms the corporate ethics. It can be cases related to finance, like insider trading related to stock market. I do not know how many of you have heard this word, insider trading. Anybody? Is it ethical or non-ethical in nature? And what is that? Abhishek?
Non-ethical, right?
Abhishek, yes.
Yeah, so insider trading is like when you have information about joint stock companies, etc. Right? Like, so if you are like a part of the management, the top management, if you have information about like critical decisions or information that could impact the value of the stock, right? So you're ideally forbidden to like sort of share that information to people trading in stocks.
Yeah, Abhishek, good, excellent. In fact, you are manipulating the insider trading is something related to the stock market, where you try to use the information which is exclusively available with you, since you are the insider. You may be in management, you can be lower level middle manager also, right? If you are having some inside information, and if you are passing on that information to somebody else, maybe to your competitors, and they are manipulating your stock, right? So that is which is very, very unethical in nature, and which is punishable also, which is not legal also, right? Ethics should be first part, and legality will automatically follow, because SEBI says insider tradings are not allowed to manipulate the stock prices. So these are few of the examples, right? Now what examples can somebody quote about social responsibility? Neeraj, you want to say something?
I was saying that maybe corporate espionage can be an thing in ethics. So
you want to
corporate spying, yeah.
Yes.
So actually called espionage. So it might be a thing. Because it's particularly right to do spying on other industries.
Okay, fine, Neeraj. Neeraj, any example of social responsibility of the businesses? What are the social responsibilities? And are they compulsory? Are they mandatory? Anybody? See, another word is CSR. CSR also, yes. 3 people have raised their hand. Neeraj is Abhishek. You want to contribute something?
Yeah, sure. So I think the government a few years back has now mandated that there has to be some CSR mandatory.
Yes. What is the percentage CSR?
Percentage, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is 2%, right? So it is more of a mandatory, but many a time most of the corporate shows that they are not running in profit. For example, let me name the Amazon, which is the largest e-commerce company, but most of the time they shows that they are just break even, right? They are just getting their ROI, right, return on investment, and many a time the corporate run away from the CSR, but they are accountable, paying back to the society. That is the basic philosophy. Yes. Whose mic is on? Anjali, your mic is on. Shashank, you want to contribute something? Poonam is also there.
Yes, sir. Shashank this side. So, sir, basically it is 2% of the average net profit. If a business is making profit, it has to contribute 2% of its average net profit as CSR.
Yes, CSR. And what can be those activities?
So it's like I'm from Dhanbad, and we have Coal India here. So they are building hospitals, building schools, parks. They are
saving
training
the environment, right?
Yes. Providing trainings. Yeah, providing trainings to low grade pay workers. All those things. So basically, something that uplifts the society. That is CSR.
Yes.
Corporate social responsibility.
Good, Shashank. Komal, you want to? In fact, your turn has not come. Sorry, Komal. Anything you'd like to contribute?
Yes, sir. Corporate social responsibility is something wherein the organization has earned profits because of the public at large. So they are contributing in their way to public at large. It could be in form of development of roads, circles, reducing their carbon footprint, or anything like that. So the most prominent example could be Zomato, wherein they have started delivering through e-bikes or bicycles to a nearby location to reduce their carbon footprint and reduce plastic usage as well.
Good. Except carbon footprint, right? Again, one very important keyword from the management perspective, right? Even giving the package in biodegradable material, right? Even though it may cost a bit to them, but not passing on those costs to the customer. It's something which is directly related or indirectly related to social responsibility, right? Not delivering the food stuff in plastic is again part of corporate social, not forget about corporate as a word, social responsibility, right? Carbon footprint, it's a good example which was passed in Geneva, right? UNO, fine, good. Somebody else is there. Kripal Singh, you want to say something?
Yeah, so 2-3 examples can be donations to NGO, for example, during Diwali times or otherwise. Right. And on some special occasions, planting more trees, so can be the part of CSR.
Right, good. See, in COVID, there was one very good example. Can you name the corporate who have given the in Prime Minister Care Fund, who has donated the most from the corporate? Who were those?
I believe all the
Azim Premji.
Azim Premji and Tata's, right?
Yes,
they were the biggest donor.
Premji 1,600 crore, I think.
Good. You remember the figure also. So, see, this is all part of corporate social responsibility, and the reason behind it is very simple, because they are earning from the society, right? And it is their duty to give back, right? Pay back or give back something to the society. It can be helping the COVID patient, it can be helping the orphanages, it can be helping the old age homes, it can be saving the environment, right? And which has nothing to do with the product of the organization. For example, Tata's, they are into automobiles, they are into IT, and they are into whatnot, right? So, but still, if some Tatas are planting the trees to save the environment, which has nothing to do with their original product, but still they have to do it, since whatever they are earning from the society, and something in return. 2% is the norm which is set by the government, right? It can go beyond 2%, right? 2% से ज़्यादा दे सकते हैं. Nobody is going to stop you If you say I'm going to contribute 100% of my profit, nobody will stop you. But ideally it has to be that much, and it should be not on paper. That is what is needed, and that is the job of managers nowadays. Maybe the managers are on the top level here when it comes to social responsibility, but even a middle level manager and a lower level manager can perform this job. It can be like, for lower level manager, it can be helping the worker if somebody has a small mishap, right? So immediately taking him, hospitalizing, and not waiting for the organization to support for his hospital bill. The people out there or the manager himself can contribute a bit of the money if the accident is not fatal, right? It requires only first aid. That can be contributed, and that is going to help the organization in what? It is going to help in building the goodwill in long run, right? Image जो बोलते हैं, image projection और goodwill जो बोलते हैं अपन, branding जो बोलते हैं, indirectly marketing, it's a dirty word when we talk about marketing, branding, but goodwill is a good word because it counts a lot, right? Building the goodwill required a lot of efforts from top to bottom. Goodwill is not built overnight. It requires plenty of efforts. It requires contribution from each and every unit of that organization. It can be workers or it can be top management, right? Top to bottom. Diverse workforce, we have seen this. Globalization, we all are aware about it. Importance of customer to the manager's job. Now we all know customer is a king, right? That is the punchline or jargon that is commonly used. Customer is the king, and the organization has to be customer centric. So managers, apart from taking care of his subordinates or team members and reporting to the superiors, he is more accountable now to the customer compared to what he used to be few decades back, right? A decade back or 2 decades back. Now he is more accountable. That is what we are talking about over here. See, for instance, almost 70% of the Canadian labor force is employed in service industry, and services, the customer is the, here they are not selling any particular goods. So service industry is one industry where goods cannot be stored. Service has to be delivered there and there itself, right? So the industry, most of the developing as well as developed countries, the GDP is coming from service industry, and service industry, the customers are more demanding, right? Importance of social media to managers' jobs. Now, can you name few of the social media platform? Plenty of them are there. You raise
LinkedIn.
Your Meta, previously Facebook, right? Meta. Then you have what? Twitter, LinkedIn. All are this. Yes, Meta. Earlier name was Facebook. Okay. So this social media platform, just a moment. Social media platform are again playing a very important role, and manager just performing his job 9 to 5 is not going to help. We have seen traditional job and the new organization. This slide we have already seen. So it's not typical 9 to 5 job nowadays, right? We all know, we all are aware about it. He has to take into account social media groups also. So has to build the goodwill of the organization in long run. So has to have the loyal customer following. If you really want to have what? A tailor-made approach to each and every customer, then you have to take help of social medias also. Another example is emails, right? Sending personalized email, sending birthday emails to the customer. Probably many a time if you go to a Titan watch shop, they'll ask for your date of birth, and the reason is simple. They would like to wish you on your birthday. That is the basic purpose of taking your date of birth with most of the professional organizations. You may fake around your date of birth, but you will receive a birthday message, and that is job of whom? It is a job of managers. See, these are small examples, and this has changed the role of manager. That is why I am showing you this particular slide. Importance of innovation. Now, invention, innovation. What is the difference? Let us move back to the basic.
Innovation is great.
Innovation is
Upgrades and update.
Innovation is upgrade or update, and what is invention? Kripal?
Invention is creating something new.
Something new, good. Something new, right? New is the keyword, right? Invention is inventing something new. Invention is nothing but inventing something new. And discovery is what? Again, something in synonym with each other. Discovery. See, out of context, just for discussion.
To find something.
Finding.
It's already there in the nature.
It's already there. Good.
But not known to public at large.
Exactly. Good. So see, as a manager, you should be able to distinguish with these words: discovery, invention, and innovation. Innovation is something in making changes for betterment, right? Like अपन बोलते हैं ना कि we are renovating our house, which is not directly innovation. Innovation means something change in the product so that its utility can be bettered, right? Ravita, you want to contribute?
Yes, little bit confused. आपने बोला just sending birthday emails to employees. It's a job of manager.
Not
it
employee.
Should be a job of
not employee. See, customer. We were talking from the points. Let me take you to that slide, right? Managers need to understand and manage the power and peril of the social media, and why the manager would like to use this power of social media so that to build a connect between the customer or consumer.
Customer, not the employee of an organization, right?
Not the. See, even employee also, they can set up a machinery so that they celebrate the birthday, so that sense of belongingness within the organization remains, right? If I'm going, if it's my birthday today and I am approaching to my manager, and if he is wishing, or he or she is wishing me a birthday, then definitely my morale will get boosted up, right? I'll feel a sense of belongingness, right? And ultimately, it is a job of manager. Customer is a king. We all know it. The first priority should go to the customer, but at the same time, the employees are equally important, right? They are equally important, right? Good. Yeah, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Let us go to where? Yeah, again, 4 words we have used: discovery, invention, innovation, and renovation, right? These have different meaning, more or less. They are related to what? Innovation. Invention is inventing something new. Discovery is finding something which is already there in existence, but which was not known at large to a general public, right? And the renovation is making few changes, right? Something which is related to innovation, but renovation is something which is related to real estate, or maybe to the interior of a space, right? So this has to be taken into account, like and how the manager is going to innovate based on the customer needs and want, right? And how is going to come to know the needs and want? Unless and until he interact with the customer or the consumer, he'll never know what exactly they are looking out in that particular product. Many a time, even the consumer or customer do not know what exact changes they want. So the manager at a certain point of time has to adopt a method of observation, right? Both bar as a consumer or customer, we exactly do not know what exact changes I like to have. So observation is again one of the method through which he can note down what exactly the consumer or customer is looking out for the changes in the product. See, it can be like what? For example, take a simple example of toothpaste, right? For children, the toothpaste flavor is more important compared to the adult, right? Adult may try out different types of things, but for children, particularly for what? The children's or the students, I would say, below going in 6th standard below or 4th standard below, their choices will be different compared to a grown-up, right? So they have to find out which is the flavor which the particular customer is going to prefer, or consumer here in this case, right? So these are few of the examples of innovation. Just please unmute yourself. Whose mic is on? Let me Okay, fine. Yeah, one more mic is on. Fine. Yes, I hope all of you following me what I'm saying up till now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now this is again a very important keyword, sustainability, sustainability, right? What sustainable development? This is very commonly used word in most of the global conferences. We have to go for sustainable development. What does this mean? Importance of sustainability to a manager's job, and this is more from the macro level point of view, not micro. Micro means small, going down to the minute details. Macro, MACRO is something which has a broader replication. So what does sustainable development means and what it has to do with the manager's job? Anybody? Yes. Just a minute. Kripal and Abhishek. Yes. Rupam, let us give chance to Rupam. Rupam.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sustainability means meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So in addition, I can say about the natural resources, which we also need some social and economic resources. Sustainability is not just an environmental, but it's something like policy concepts in a global public disclosure consists the three main dimensions or the pillars.
Good.
It's something like that.
Good, excellent. In fact, you have covered all the things. Sustainability is nothing but taking care of the present at the same time preserving something for the future generation to come. It need not be only related to environment. Most of the time it is correlated to environment. For example, use of non-renewable resources. Rupam has quoted the example like petroleum products, right? We all know the resources are limited in nature. For example, coal. So we should be very wise in using these resources so that we leave back something for our generation to come. कि नहीं मैं तो I am here, I am going to consume whatever it is because I am going to stay for a particular duration on this globe, right? And so I am free to use whatever I want to. What about the future generation to come? So you have to think from that point of view also. It can be use of plastic so that we do not destroy the mother nature, right? We do not pollute the sea, we do not pollute the rivers. We pass on the nature, right? Nature in its original form to our generations to come, right? So that is the broad definition of sustainable development. And manager's job is not only just satisfying the customer, he or she has to take into account this sustainable development also. कि नहीं मुझे प्रॉफिट कमाना है, that is my intention. Management is saying yes. Abhishek want to contribute something? Abhishek?
Sir, I mean, I just look at it like, I mean, pretty much like from our experience in my organization and similar organizations, right? So there are solutions sometimes that you create, right, which may not be scalable, right, and not sustainable. When I say sustainable, it may not be something that can be expanded to the larger organization. So I think that's where a lot of concepts of standardization, right, or like kind of doing the same thing. So for example, support. Right, so if you are offering support to your customers, right, so if that is not consistent around the world, you may not be able to automate and you may not be able to sustain a solution that may be just local or just regional, right? So you have to look at standard processes across the world if you're in a global organization, and then create solutions that can be sustained across the board.
Over a period of time, right? Good.
Over a period of time.
It can be sustained,
Just another perspective.
At one point of time, and it can simultaneously, that consistency you can maintain. That is again one of the definition. I'll take it. Sustainability is something which can be which is going to stay there for longer period of time, right? It's
Correct.
not only one stop solution कि मैंने solution दे दिया and now my job is over, right? It has to work when if it is working in India, it has to sustain in Canada also, right? That is again one of the alternate definition. I'll take it. Fine. Good. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
To counter this problem, even government of India, they have increased the CMD or CEO position for at least for 3 years and something.
Yes, Rakesh, can you repeat? Can you repeat your?
Yeah, actually, no. I'm just telling that for sustainability, overcome this problem. In India, in public sector bank, government has increased 3 years threshold for the CMD appointment level.
Okay.
So this is the countering for this sustainability problem. So they will provide for longer period for solution for the longer period.
Right, fine. See, it depends on what context you are talking about. Banking, the sustainability, the definition may remain same, but the way you are going to implement is going to vary. For a manufacturing firm, the sustainability's definition may vary also to a bit extent because their procedure, their what you can processes are different compared to what it is in service industry. So fine, all of you got the concept clearly, and any doubt in this up till now?
No doubt, sir.
Okay, fine. Let us now move back. Let us move ahead, not back rather. See, this is all about ethics and all we have already studied, right? Change in technology, changing workplace, security threats. These are all part of VUCA, VUCA environment or VUCA world, right? And this is what the manager is facing. These are all challenges, and he should be quite adaptable when it comes to all these challenges. Maybe he may be good expert in few of them, not very much good in other, but he can definitely take help of the top management. He can consult his colleague, he can consult the team member. And see, organization we all know, see, manager का job नहीं है सब, right? It is a teamwork. It is see, organization when we say it's entirely a teamwork. Right? So when I'm saying manager's job, it necessarily not means the owners completely lie on the manager. He can delegate. Just a moment, somebody's mic is still on. Yes. Sai, your mic was on. Pooja, your mic is also fine. See, what we were discussing? We were discussing about these challenges. So manager's job necessarily do not mean that the entire owners lies on the manager. As a manager, we know manager job is to take decision. Manager's job is to allot resources. Manager's job is to delegate, right? Certain things. He is not supposed to do everything on his or her own, right? So he can use his authority so that all these challenges can be tackled. All these challenges can be tackled in a better fashion.
Oh, please mute everyone.
All of you getting me what I'm saying? Aarti, your mic is on. Fine, now it is off. I'm muted. Okay. So let us move to another slide. This is part of Unit 2, Management by Objective. See, let us move back again to first session, post-core. So P stand for planning, and management by objective is the first step in planning. It is one of the tool or technique which is used for planning, and which MBO includes this post-core also. That's why we started with that particular acronym, post-core, POSD-CORB, right? So this belongs to Unit 2, which talks about planning. Let me take you, I think this slide is not that clear. Management by objective is a systematic and organized approach that aims to increase organizational performance by aligning goals and subordinate objectives throughout the organization. It is like matching the individual goals with the organization goal. I'd like to show you a small video which will clear the doubt of this MBO, right? Just a moment. Let me take you to the video. Just a moment. Where it is that? Just go. SWOT analysis again will tell you what is your situation. Strength, weakness, opportunity, threat for the organization. Just I hope all of you know what is SWOT analysis. You can,
so the video is
apply it to as an individual also. Just wait for it to yourself. I'm running it.
So video is here.
Yeah, I'm running it. Wait for a moment. Just a moment. Give me a second. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I'll try to run this video. I had one another, but I'm not able to locate it.
Management by objectives is a process in which a manager and an employee agree on specific performance goals and then develop a plan to reach those goals. First outlined in Peter Drucker's 1954 book, The Practice of Management, management by objectives ensures better employee participation and commitment while aligning objectives throughout an organization. For management by objectives to succeed, the objectives must be realistic. Both managers and employees should review past performance and pinpoint any problems. This information should then be used to create goals that address the organization's specific needs. Finally, the company needs an information system that measures actual performance against the defined objectives. For example, a large sales organization can aim to increase its customer base by 10% over the coming fiscal year, thereby increasing productivity among all employees. On an individual level, a customer service representative
Sir, I'm
can
not
focus
able
on
to see
improving
the
service
video.
skills to better
Yes. What about others? Can others see the?
Yes, sir.
I can see that. Yes.
Yes, we can see.
Yes,
that.
sir.
We are able to see it.
Yes, we can see.
As clients or support personnel can learn to use new software that communicates pertinent data faster.
Yeah, that was all about it. It was a very small video, but anyway, I'll explain the concept. Don't worry. Right? So, what exactly is the process of management by objective? See, it will differ from department to department, but management by objective is nothing but aligning the individual goal. Who are these individual? These are the employee. The employee can be from HR department, the employee can be from marketing, from IT, all sort of domain, from production, right? From operations, from logistics, from supply chain. You have to align the organizational objectives or goals with the individual objective. For example, marketing objective, marketing organizational objective can be to increase the sales by 10%, right? It can be increasing the sales by 10%. So obviously, if this goal is set, then this goal will have a replication on all the team members, particularly in the sales department, and to see to it that they increase the goal of sale by 10%, maybe quarterly or maybe in a fiscal year, right? Like it can be increasing the goal by 50% in a year. For HR, it can be increasing the or it can be reducing the attrition ratio of the employees by 20%. If 50% of the people are leaving the job or leaving the organization, and if reducing it to 20%, taking it to 10%, the goal can be anything, right? So you have to align this particular organizational goal with the goal of the translate the objective to the employee, right? This is the second step. Organizational objectives are there. It is already there. Once the organization is established, those objectives you can start with the mission, vision, goal, and objectives. Right? We have studied this. Objective will be fourth in ranking or in terms of hierarchy. Right? Now this objective should trickle down to the employee's objective. Translate to the objectives to the employee. Right? Now once these objectives are defined to an employee, they have to be monitors. And who's going to monitor it? The top management and the managers are going to monitor the performance, evaluate the progress, how far you were able to achieve this goal sets, like reducing the attrition rate from, all of you know what is attrition?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, good.
Yes,
so if my attrition rate was 50%, I have to bring it to 20%. It can be through employee motivation, it can be through financial incentives, it can be through non-financial incentives, it can be through other reward system also. And once this progress is matching with the goal, with whatever objectives you have set, then you reward the achievement, right? And again you reset your objective. This is a very simple process. Even though it looks very simple on paper, it's very difficult to achieve, very difficult to implement, because it needs everybody to be involved in decision making. All the employees should wholeheartedly contribute. Then only this MBO can be achieved. And it starts with what? It starts with the process of planning. See, it starts with the process of planning. The other steps are maybe implementation. All post-COP you can take into account over here. So this is what the steps I have taken into hierarchical form. Now here, these are the jobs of the superior or maybe your bosses. This is the employees who would like to align their goals with the organizational goal. Top management sits somewhere over here, and it's a continuous process. There has to be commitment from each and every employee, and there are certain external environment also. All of you know what is the external environment. We have discussed it all. Political, legal, social, environmental, this all forms the part of external environment, and you have to perform this MBO in this particular environment, right? So whatever slide we have seen, this is more or less same slide, but put in a different perspective. Here, establish long-term goal, establish specific objective for the subordinate, develop action plan for the subordinate, then appraise result. By whom? By the superiors. Appraise result and take corrective action. And this is a feedback loop which goes back in establishing again the long-term goal, right? And what are the advantages? As I said, it may look very simple. It do have plenty of advantages also, but these disadvantages we'll be taking in our next session. It do have plenty of disadvantages also. Too much of expectation. It's time consuming because it's a continuous process. It's a continuous support and commitment process. So plenty of time is also consumed, but ultimately the benefits are this: efficiency in work, sense of importance. Every employee will feel like he or she is contributing to the objective of the organization. Resource optimization, will be taking a detailed look at it when we meet next time, maybe day after tomorrow, and we'll be discussing further, right? So this is all for today. Thank you all of you for attending and coming in such a large number and responding very well to all the queries which I have asked. Any further queries which you'd like to ask? Not related to admin, because you have a meeting today. I hope all your doubts, your grievances are sorted out. So I think the meeting is at 3 o'clock. I wish all of you a very best luck, and hopefully it will get resolved. Don't worry about it.
Sir, thank you so much for actually organizing that. I think it was really prompt, and I guess you're one of the first faculty. We've approached several of them, but I think you really managed to get that together. So much thanks.
I approached the director. I said, like, the students, they are deeply hurt, and they are in plenty of grievances are there. So anyway, see, it's our job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for that arranging the meeting.
There is no need to thank it. It is my duty. It is my job to see to it that my students are satisfied. That is all from my end. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you so much.
Meet you next
Thank
time.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Goodbye and take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.